Welcome to We Don't Have Cookies with your host, Jason Marshall.
Hey everybody, thanks for downloading the show. I have a good one for you today. My guest hasn't been on the podcast ever since UFC Hall of Famer Dan the Bee Severn forgave him and let him be on the show again. It's my good friend ChooChooStu. Stu, how you doing?
Oh, not too bad. It's good to be back, Jason.
Yeah, it's nice to have you. What have you been up to?
Well, apart from jury service, I've done that for 2 weeks, which was really interesting. It's really interesting, the characters you meet and the things people do on jury service. It's quite an eye-opener. Do you know when they do these sitcoms about, people in a factory or people in a shop? They should do one of people on jury service because I'm sure it'd be a hit.
That sounds like a good TV show. I would like to see that. You could make it work, man. You could have all kinds of different people rotating in and different cases. It'd be a lot of fun.
I mean, can you imagine that you've turned up to jury service and you've brought along with you an interpreter?
Really?
Because you can't speak English. So your jury of 12 is now jury of 13, possibly. Or it would have been if they hadn't kicked him out.
That's incredible. What language did they speak?
It was some kind of Indian, there was an Indian person. But then there was another person where they waited until they'd been on a case for 2 weeks. And then they decided just to say, by the way, the guy that's in a dock, I'm going to plead not guilty because he lives around the corner to me. I know him. But they decided not to say until we'd been there for 2 weeks.
That's a long time to wait.
Yeah. Well, they said that I know where he lives. He's around the corner. My daughter goes to school there. So I'm not going to plead guilty. I'm not going to choose to find him guilty. It's hard to keep a sort of just a straightforward demeanor, and just stare ahead and keep a poker face. And
what's your case about?
I'm not really allowed to say. No, I'm not really allowed to say because I'll end up in the dock myself. But it involved putting someone in a car without them wanting to go in there. But the sentence is they're not even sentenced until April.
Wow, that's a long time. Is that how long it usually takes?
I gather so. I can't see the point of it, but I'm sure there's some kind of it. They're probably just busy or something, but they're not, putting them to their sentence yet.
Your old podcast, The Podcast Train, it's off the rails now. You started a new podcast called The Podcast Factor. What can people expect to hear on your new show?
Well, they can expect me to be on it. I've kept half of the same name. It's got the word podcast in it. But on this one, it's not like, do you know, like you got the X Factor where you line up all these different contestants and you narrow it down to a best one. It's nothing like that whatsoever, as the name might suggest. It may have well been an ill thought out name. And but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because no one's listening. No, but what it is, I listen to an extreme amount of podcasts throughout the week, and I generally do it at work and on the way to work and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, with me listening to all these, I might as well put them to some use and sort of, it's like my way of sharing them with the world. So I'll group together 4 or 5 shows that have got some kind of similarity and play clips of them. So it's like being at the delicatessen counter and being able to sample different meats and cheeses and that sort of thing. But it's a podcast one. So they're having a little sample and they could go, yeah, I like that. I might go away and download it, and or they may not. So that's generally the gist. It's a place to find your new favourite show and sample other shows.
What days do the episodes come out, and where's it available?
Well, so far I've only released 2, and they were meant to be. I released the first one before I went on jury service, and then that was meant to. I'm going to try an aim for every Sunday, or it'll be in the podcast catcher on a Monday morning, ready for the commute. Things may change. You know what it's like. You've got your good intentions, and then life happens, and sometimes gets in the way.
It's hard to take into account what's in the future. That's for sure.
But the thing is, since I started planning to do this as well, I was thinking, well, I need to listen to more podcasts, and I've got more than I can listen to, so I need people to send me in clips of their shows, 5 to sort of 10-minute clips of their shows. And then I can just edit them together and it will save me a lot of time, But at the moment, I'm thinking of a subject and listening to shows. But I've actually subscribed to about 130 shows at the moment.
Wow.
Amongst them, there is some real gold. There is some real gold, but it's hard to find gold in the thousands and thousands of podcasts that are available. But I do find them every now and again.
Yeah, I think I'm up to 68 or something like that. And I thought that was a lot, but damn, 100, over 100. That's incredible, man. What's the worst podcast you've found so far?
I did have one here. Right. This is called How to Talk to Girls. Right. And the guy has got quite a lot of episodes, right? Right. January the 19th. The number one sign she wants to be kissed. That's the episode title. Another one, Attraction Arsenal. Setting up the second date. I think some people might be looking too much into this. The biggest mistakes when flirting with girls. So I wouldn't say it's a bad show, but there's someone out there that listens apart from me. I've listened to a couple of them. I've picked up a good few tips, I can assure you.
If somebody has a podcast and they want to send you clips, where can they send those to?
That's the podcast factor at gmail.com. That's the podcast factor at gmail.com.
All right.
Yeah,
so,
I really would love to hear from people, please.
Yeah. So if you got a podcast and you want to get some promotion for it, send something.
Or if you've got a favorite podcast that you listen to and think, yeah, you should play a bit of this, even if you can't clip it yourself, just point me in the direction of it and I'll do my best to put it on there.
Back in January, I put out an episode called The Best of Father Time. Stu tweeted me saying that I really need to bring that guy back. What was it about Father Time that made you want to hear more of him after that episode?
It was like non-stop. It was very funny. I'm sure you wasn't getting a word in edgeways.
He's a very unique person. I think I can go on record saying I've never met anybody like him before.
I was thinking, like, where does he get these people from?
Yeah, for a long time, this show was talked about as the Isle of Misfit Toys because I would find some of the most out there people and try to bring them in. And he was definitely one of them. I heard a lot about him on Facebook. He was trying to get shows and people were talking because he was very infamous for misspelling things. I found it more endearing than anything. And once I got him on the show, man, it was a lot of fun.
I did enjoy that one, I must admit.
Well, I was going to announce today that Father Time will be back soon, and he was going to call in and talk to us. He even wrote a joke, me and him, about your name, but something came up. He wasn't able to be here today. And I was really looking forward to it, man. I just set it up last night. It took me a while to talk him into it. He's going through some stuff. I can promise you, though, we will be hearing from him soon.
That's great.
Yeah. And he's got such a way of talking that most people don't. It's almost like a 1920s gangster. He says see, and I love the old world way of talking that he's got. I can't wait to have him back on the show. It's been quite some time.
Definitely. No, it was definitely one of the most unique characters that you've had on.
He's one of the only people that has ever been on the show and has come over to my house to do the show dressed in a 3-piece suit with gold chains and everything. He made sure he dressed up very nice for the show, which would be good now because you can see the place. But at the time, it was completely audio only, and he was dressed up very well.
See, maybe he dresses like that all the time.
Could be. You never know.
You know, you do get these people, and like you've seen them, you think, God, he must have been to a wedding or something like that. But in actual fact, they dress like it the whole time. I actually work with a guy who dresses, I'm not sure what era it's from, but I would guess 1930s. And he's got one of these big handlebar moustaches that curls round, and this big, heavy tweed, thick suit with the waistcoat and shiny shoes. But he dresses like that when he's not working. I mean, people ask to have their photograph taken with him. It's very strange.
Yeah, it'll be good to have the guy because, like I said, there's something about the way he talks that is just, it's my favorite thing to hear him end a sentence with C. I'm going over there, C. I fucking love it. It's the best. Well, Stu, we're going to get out of here, go to a break. Is there anything you want to plug before we go?
Just please tune into the Podcast Factor. You can find it on all good podcast platforms, and check out Cave Crew Radio as well every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Well, grab your shoes and grab your balls, and let's head to those heavenly halls. Sit on down and grab a beer, because bowling time is pretty near. Tortured men forget their pain when they head to the bowling lane. Let's go bowling. Let's go bowling. Got a coupon. Let's go bowling for a free game. Let's go bowling. Let's go bowling. Let's go bowling. Let's do it now, because WrestleMania's fine by me. Monster trucks are a sight to see. A culture like that's nice and all, but there ain't nothing better than a bowling ball. 'Cause you know the sport that God would choose is the one with the 3-tone leather sole shoes. Let's go bowling. Let's go bowling. Got a coupon. Let's go bowling from a juice can. Let's go bowling. Let's go bowling, let's go bowling, let's do it now. Yes, bowling, the sport of kings, the sport of queens, the sport of dukes, earls, beaux, johns, anything that looks good when it's embroidered on a polyester shirt. And you know, bowling takes on this almost religious significance because it's so much like a religion. I mean, the ball is round like the earth, and it's got the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the thumb hole. And as you roll the ball down the alley of life, striking out the pagan religions of the past, sparing them the anguish of their lives in the gutter, framing their existence in an eternal metaphysicalness, something like the 7-10 split. We'll be bowling in Moose Jaw. Yeah, yeah. We'll be bowling in Picton. Yeah, yeah. We'll be bowling in Gander. Yeah, yeah. And in the Kingston Township. Yeah, yeah. We'll be bowling Vancouver, bowling Saskatoon. Someday they'll even be bowling on the moon. I say, yeah, 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 yeah. Let's go bowling. Let's go bowling. Got a coupon. Let's go bowling for free shoes. Let's go bowling. Let's go bowling. Let's go bowling. Let's do it now.
Hey guys, it's Christina Hughes. You're listening to We Don't Have Cookies, and I hope you'll be checking out my segment, Time to Get Fancy.
Joining me now is the man, the myth, the legend, the man who made John Cena, Kenny Bolin. How you doing, Kenny?
Damn. You were doing so good. You were doing so good. I didn't wear that particular shirt tonight, but I have a name that the people know me by worldwide. All over this goddamn planet, they know me by one name. I'm like Sting, Madonna, Prince, Trump. No, I'm not like that. Please don't confuse me with that name. That's like asshole. It's called Star Maker. Why is it so hard for you? It's been 5 or 6 years now. You and I have been working together. Mm-hmm. Why is it so hard for you to say, Kenny, the Star Maker Bolin? And let me tell you why that pisses me off. If you, let's say you got the ring announcing job down at Memphis, Tennessee in 1984 or something. 1984, maybe 1979, maybe even 1976. I know you weren't alive then, but shut up and let me finish the story. And let's say that Lance Russell's sick that week and Jason Marshall is going to get a big opportunity, like I did when Jerry Lawler had me as his personal ring announcer in Knoxville, Tennessee, the place where Ron Wright was the Jerry Lawler of Knoxville. And Jerry was back there for the first time since the early 70s, and he says, I want Kenny Bolin to be my special ring announcer because I know he'll do it right. And let's say he picked you instead of me. And if you'd stood up in front of the 15,000 people who were in that arena that night, and let me introduce to you fans the myth, the legend, Jerry Lawler. He would have turned his head away from that match. He would have looked you dead in the eye. And if you was in the ring, you wouldn't have been in it long. And if you was out of it, you'd have been in it. Because he would have jumped out of that ring. He'd have grabbed you. He'd have thrown you in there. He'd have beat you like a redheaded stepchild. He would have pile drived you right in the middle of the ring and been disqualified before the goddamn match even started. And then he would have handed the microphone to me. He says, Kenny, can you do what this bumblefuck couldn't do? Yes, sir, I'll do it. Ladies and gentlemen, from Memphis, Tennessee, coming in at 232 pounds, he is Jerry the King Lawler. Now, do you realize what you did wrong? Do you realize what you did wrong?
You said something about how you had a shirt. You were going to bring that up before you went.
Well, I have a shirt that I haven't released for public consumption yet. I have a shirt that has my picture on it, and it says Star Maker, just like my briefcase. Can you see my briefcase over there?
Yeah.
And it's got the Star Maker, and it's in my pictures in there. Maybe that'll help you if I just wore that on every episode.
Hey, Kenny.
That you would realize that after 6 years, the people, if they don't even know my first name, they know me by two things. The real king. See the crowns? See the new red one? Is that a lovely crown? You like the red crown over there?
Yeah, it looks nice.
Used to be the black one sitting over there, but now the red one is. As a matter of fact, the black one's sitting on my coffee table. Another crown mysteriously shows up at my home near my birthday from Memphis, Tennessee. I wonder who sent it. You talk about passing the torch, son. Jerry Lawler's doing everything he can to pass that torch to me, but he never puts his name on it. He just comes from Memphis. A crown in a box, not to be confused with that Saturday Night Live skit. It's a crown in a box, not a cock in a box. But you got to get it right, Jason.
Kenny, while you were talking about a shirt, it reminded me, most people, if you're watching YouTube, you've seen that I just had a plain black shirt. I have a shirt for you, Kenny. Can you see it?
I can.
I got to bring it back to me.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I see.
It's just for you, buddy.
You're just trying to secure that job over there is what you're trying to do. All right. All right. I like a little sass in you little punk co-host that think you big deals and don't think I'll replace you. I think I got a bit of a reputation rolling in on this network. I know you assume, because every time I go somewhere new, a new host comes along. So you probably thought, well, he just offered the job to his attorney, Christian Muscagni. I guess I'm out. He's new network, new logo. There he goes. He's gone. Fuck him. He can have the goddamn thing. I was well past my stay anyway. I'd done 3 shows with it.
That's more than a lot of people.
More than a lot of people have done. So no, we're very happy with you. We here at the alley, me and the kitty. I see the kitty over there looks pretty happy. Has that cat become the new Black Prince?
I think so.
Black Chris, because it seems like Black Chris shows up on a lot of my shows. He used to be known as Two Cow, but Prince quit showing up, so they just named him Black Chris. And Black Chris, he's certainly far more popular than White Chris. I know that. But I keep forgetting this ain't my show. I shouldn't have interrupted you. Yeah, I should have. And the cat's now sitting. No, he's got his prime spot. Well, would you look at that? Just hogging up the whole damn show.
Well,
but I'm on your show. We're not on my show, and I shouldn't be so hard on you, and I shouldn't be so rude and obnoxious. And you have me on here supposedly for 15 minutes, and we've done eating that up. So let's get on to what you got me on here for.
Have we ever only talked for 15 minutes?
No,
ever?
Never. It's never happened. So. I still got 2 ball games to watch. I got to watch the U of L game. If you fuck these up for me, I will come to Dayton tonight. I still got to watch the Duke game. Did you see how we lost to Virginia?
No, I didn't see any of the games.
Listen to this shit. We had a 4-point lead. You know anything about college basketball?
Not really.
You know anything about basketball at all?
Mm-hmm.
I know you know enough to know this. Louisville has a 4-point lead with 0.9 seconds on the clock. Did we win or did we lose?
On paper, you almost have to win, right?
On paper, you have to win. But no, we fouled the guy shooting a three with 0.9 seconds on the clock. But we got a 4-point lead. So you would think, all right, motherfucker going to step up there, knocks down all three. Who gives a shit? Inbound the ball, game over. So he hits the first one. He hits the second one. This is the Virginia guy. And of course, he's got to miss the third on purpose and then hope somebody can jump up there and tap it in. So he does that and he misses, but they blow the whistle and call it a lane violation. Somebody was in the lane early. So it looks like Louisville's won the game. But oh no. Now we have to inbound the ball. And the referee points to Ding Adele. Dumb Adele is what they're calling him now in Louisville, but Ding Adele is what he was known as until that game. And the referee points to the floor. And when the referee does that, means you can't move. This is an inbound situation. This is not after a made basket. You cannot move. He pointed to the floor. Seconds after the referee hands Ding Adele, a.k.a. Dumb Adele, the ball, he looks around. He's having trouble getting it in, so he runs down the baseline. Referee blows the whistle. You moron. I told you couldn't run the baseline. Virginia's ball. So now there's all kinds of confusion and arguing going on. But while all the confusion and argument is going on, Virginia's in a huddle making a play. They don't even have any timeouts. So we gave them a free timeout by arguing the call. So they inbound the ball. A large man catches the ball beyond the 3-point line by about 10 feet, I guess. Heaves it up towards the goal. He has to do it immediately. There's 0.9 seconds left. Banks off the very top of the backboard and drops through. 3-pointer, horn sounds, game over. Reviewed the film. He got it off in time. The shot counted. And Louisville Cardinals did what no team had ever done in the history of sports basketball. Not Pee Wee League, not elementary school, not high school, not college, not pro, not the Globetrotters. Nobody had ever lost a game with a 4-point lead and 0.9 seconds remaining. But we fucked that up because we are the champions. We vacated another win. They just took 100 wins from us recently because they said we fucked some whores. And they took our title away from us because we fucked those whores. And a whore wrote a book about it. I forgot the title. A lot of people in Louisville have.
I heard I probably screwed you too.
It was not that book. That was another whore. Another whore wrote that book. So there you go, folks. Only the Louisville Cardinals could blow a 4-point lead where in a league that you only have a 3-point shot with 0.9 seconds remaining. And they had the ball. Unfucking blue. All right. Well, there's another 15 minutes. What do you got?
Well, I was going to say that officially, we are no longer on the Russo Brand network as far as the Bolin Alley is concerned.
Well, what did you do to fuck that up?
That's a long story.
I thought that was you who fucked that up.
No, thankfully it wasn't me.
But no, well, yeah, I guess it's good for that. Well, before you, well, all right, I guess you were on the Russo Brand network. Mm-hmm. But to show you how serious I was about how pissed I was, I gave up 4 shows a week on Podcast One. Now, you were not on those shows. You were on the Russo Brand network. I was so pissed, I gave up 4 shows a week on Podcast One to show you how either big a deal I am or how stupid I am or how pissed I was. There's 3 choices you have. We may take a poll. All right, so go ahead. So you're about to announce that we're no longer on Russo Brand. I guess I fucked it up then. Wasn't you? Thank God.
And we have a whole new YouTube channel for the Bolin Alley, and soon that'll have an RSS feed. People can get it on iTunes and other places, and you couldn't get that before on the Russo Brand. So
that is the advantage of me losing my cool about Jeff Lane and getting real pissed and quitting, because now it actually works out better for the fans, because now, like on Jason's shows, you can get us on, or we'll be getting us on YouTube and Stitcher, and then what are some of the other more popular ones? Because I don't know.
TuneIn Radio, hopefully iHeartRadio, but I heard that they're filing for bankruptcy as of yesterday.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Damn, I thought they were a big deal. They maybe should quit showing 2-hour specials all the time that they cost a lot of money.
Yeah, it might just be one of those restructuring kind of bankruptcies, but I didn't really.
Well, if we're there, we're there. If we're not, well, there's lots of other places you can catch us. And, of course, YouTube. Yeah. And here's the thing I'm real excited about, and I learned this by accident because dumb fuck over here aired a show live about the 10-man that I had no idea was live. And we're just cackling on and just bullshitting, doing shit that we're pretty goddamn sure will never air. And now he starts talking to people in the chat room. I said, what? What do you mean people in the chat? What? How? Well, we're on YouTube Live. Well, it would have been nice to have known that. So by accident, I found out that we can actually do these goddamn shows live, which is pretty cool because the Facebook Live shows, as you've seen, are very popular that I do over there. Mm-hmm. They stomp anybody else on a Russo Brand that tries them. They know better than try to go against me. There's many people at Russo Brand that refuse to try and do a Facebook Live every other Monday because guess who they got to go against? And guess who ain't going to see their show? You know why? Because I'm apparently just asshole enough that you people tune in to see what the fuck I got to say. And you God knows what it'll be. And there's somebody, well, Kenny Bolin uses too strong a language. Well, fuck you. There you go. Fuck you if you don't like strong language. Move on. I'm not trying to be like Cornette or anything. I don't try to just cuss about every goddamn thing. Just shit I'm mad about.
If I get over 100 YouTube subscribers, I'm going to release the lost episode of the Bolin Alley. It was supposed to be the first episode of the current season.
It was, but it sucked.
Well, it was a lot of fun. We said that we were going to release it, and then
you voted to air it, and Chris and Maya voted for the tie, and Two-Cow refused to vote because he didn't want to piss off either side, and Choco was upstairs asleep like good dogs. So,
but the reason that I want to get 100 subscribers is once I get 100 subscribers, I can get a custom YouTube URL, so I can just say go to YouTube/we don't have cookies, and that'll be a lot easier.
Good idea.
So,
well, my goal, and I'm doing this only to embarrass people who have less, is to have 250 subscribers before we air shit. I want not jack up there at 250 subscribers. That is just the ultimate. And no offense, Jason.
Oh, that's fine.
But now I'm not trying to embarrass you here. I promise. But how many subscribers do you have right now?
Let's see.
Oh, he's looking.
Yeah, I gotta look it up. I think
because we got to get you to 100, so you'll shut up about it.
The thing is, I haven't done anything on YouTube until we started doing our Google Hangout.
Oh, really? Is that the deal? I didn't realize. I thought all your shit went up on YouTube. I didn't know.
My podcast stuff did, but most people just, because it's a podcast, a lot of people just listen to it.
And a lot of people just listen to it on iTunes, I'm sure. So it's not totally embarrassing what your YouTube numbers are, because if there's other avenues, and most of my fans have always wanted to hear us on iTunes. So if the YouTube views are down, don't be cracking jokes and acting like, oh, goddamn, they only got 1,000 views, or because iTunes is apparently what everybody likes to listen on, according to what my fan base says. But I like to get at least 3,000 to 5,000 views on YouTube because hopefully they want to see what we're doing. And I realize not everybody, but just to give you an idea, Vince said that when I was doing this shit with Vito and giving him and Jeff Lane shit every week and really talking bad about them and calling them names, and because I was really mad and I meant every goddamn word I was saying, he said that we had a couple of weeks that we had over 300,000 downloads, but I don't think any of those things got 10,000 views or less. I mean, they might have, might even been 5,000 or 6,000. 300,000 downloads on podcast one, but yet maybe 5,000, 6,000 views on YouTube. So there's not really any way to judge. But the video content will be there if you want it. If you want it on iTunes, it'll be there. But it's really hard to calculate all those ratings together, because you got Stitcher over here, and you got your iHeartRadio, you got your iTunes, and all these various places, and X amount of people go certain places. So I could see where you could get 100,000 views, but it'd be split up over 10 different viewing options. So that sounds like a good lie the Republicans will buy.
So as soon as I get 100 subscribers, I'll apply for the URL. And if you see I have 100 subscribers, subscribe anyway. Because just in case somebody drops off, I'll still have one.
Somebody weasels out like me or something.
Yeah, I'll still have the numbers when I apply.
I subscribe to, do you know?
I don't know, because some people it doesn't show if they subscribe or not, and then other people I get a notification.
How about here? I'll settle this for you right now. How about everybody out there who thinks Jeff Lane sucks, subscribe, and that'll get you over 100. That should do it right there. That should be about 190 by the end of the night.
I want to play a song for you. Somebody made a song for me.
Cake by the Ocean? That's my gig. I normally do that.
I played a song, I think it's been about 2 or 3 weeks ago now, that somebody sent in that they made for me, but they also made one for you. So we're going to play that right now.
Made me a song.
Let me know what you think.
Oh, I will.
Let me start that over here. Okay.
I hate it already.
You ready? Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
You are my Kenny Bolin, my only Kenny Bolin. You make us happy when you compete in the ring because you always just make us want to sing whenever we hear that ding, ding, ding.
What? What?
That was for you, Kenny.
Did he make that up while taking a shit? I mean, what the hell? That took no effort whatsoever. Certainly no talent. What the hell? Roses are red, violets are blue. I hate Jason Marshall and ChooChooStu. See how hard that was? That's about how much effort he put into that song. Jesus Christ.
I like
All right, let's hear yours. Where's your, do you have yours? Or?
I'll play mine once we go to break.
All right.
I had to get your reaction to the song. I thought that would be a lot of fun.
Just horrible.
Well, I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to play the song that the guy made for me a couple of weeks ago. And when I come back, I'm going to announce my guest for next week. And I am really excited about it. I think you will be too. So stay tuned.
Jason's cookies are something that we just love to eat because it always makes us stay on our feet whenever we want to feel the radio heat, whenever we hear the people peep. And that just makes us have fans turn into peeps. And just keep up the F words by a beep.
G'day, Beej here from the BS Pod and also newpodworldorder.com. Did you know the word incorrectly is the only word from the English language that is always spelt incorrectly?
Want to contact the show? Send an email to jason@wedon'thavecookies.com or call 929-266-9342 and leave a voicemail.
I really would like to hear from you guys. I always reply when I get emails or comments on social media. Who knows where it's going to lead? If you leave a voicemail, I could play it on the show like I did a minute ago, or we might end up talking through email or on Twitter, and you could end up with a segment or being a guest like ChooChooStu. That's how I met him. And that's what I love about doing this show. You never know where things are going to go. I want to give a shout out to Karen Rontowski. I've been talking to her a lot this week, and she's been a lot of help to me. She will be returning as a guest soon to talk about her new podcast that starts Thursday called Paranormal Karen. Next week's guest is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to have a man who is trying to set the world's record for the tallest hat. The hat he's created is 18 feet 9 inches tall. That's pretty damn amazing. Right now, the current world record is 9 feet 9 inches. So, I think he's a shoo-in. Before I go, I want to thank Travis Dodgen, Jason Lampro, and Cave Crew Radio for retweeting last week's episode. My guests, ChooChooStu and Kenny Bolin, for being on the show. Dave Nelson for always being cool. Beej for the BS Fact segment, and the Arrogant Worms for letting me use their song, Let's Go Bolin'. I wish Kenny Bolin and Jeff Lane could still work together. It'd be funny to hear them do a show called The Bolin Lane. Vince Russo should have thought of that. I know I say this a lot, but it's really cool how many people from different places are a part of this show. Just on this episode, we had Maya, who is a citizen from Germany, doing the intro and the outro, and the contact bumper that gives you all the information how to get a hold of me. ChooChooStu's from England. The Arrogant Worms are from Canada. Beej is from Australia. Kenny Bolin's from Kentucky, which might as well be its own country. This has to be the most worldwide indie podcast out there. All right, enough bragging. That's it for me this week. Thanks again for downloading the show. If you can, please leave a rating and review wherever you're listening. Talk to you next Monday.
Thanks for listening. Tell your friends about all the fun we had and leave a review. See you next time.
Fuck you if you don't like strong language.